Hi, I'm Sharon.
Hey, and I'm Gary.
And we're Rough Road RV Life.
And we like looking at freedom.
Every day.
And freedom has brought us to the state of Oregon. We started in Florida. And we found a home base at Camper Cove on Highway 101, kind of up in North Oregon. We're going to tell you a little bit about our adventures, or our excursions that we took going out of Camper Cove.
Right, Camper's Cove was a great base camp to explore this little area of the coast, but you could actually go as far as you want to go.
And from Camper's Cove, if you head north on Highway 101, you'll come to the city of Tillamook, and there's a nice grocery store there if you need to buy groceries. And also there's the Tillamook cheese factory there that you can tour the cheese factory, get some ice cream, get a gift shop. Very crowded because a lot of people go to that tour.
Yep, just as many people today as yesterday. Tillamook Creamery. So many people. But it is fun. And you should do it at least once. But, whoo, it's a lot of people.
And then about 10 miles further north of the Tillamook cheese factory is the Tillamook place where they make beef turkey. And teriyaki flavor and all that kind of stuff, beef turkey.
Delicious.
And they have a little store out in front that you can go in there and buy bags of beef turkey with all different sizes, shapes, and flavors that you can imagine.
Right. It is delicious.
Yeah, you have
I'm really
to go
not
there.
A meat eater.
Yes, we, well,
but
I did.
Like
I stopped in there and bought some.
I didn't complain.
No. Now from Camper's Cove, the farthest north that we went this time was up to Fort Stevens. Previous trip we went all the way across the bridge over the Columbia River into Washington. Pretty much to say we went to Washington. But this time we just went to Fort Stevens. Fort Stevens is a great recreation area / campground, great beach.
Bike trails.
A place that we would, if we were camping up and we wanted to go more north, we would go there.
I would get reservations there because I also want to explore further north along the Washington coast, and this would be a great jump up to get you situated to head north into Washington. And there's a lot to do there. It's a beautiful beach. It wasn't super crowded when we were there. Of course, we were in Oregon in the summer, so you're going to have some crowds, but it is a beautiful park.
It's about, 2 hours up from where we were?
Right at it, yeah. It's only like 75 miles, but of course you're not able to go super fast, so it takes a little while. But we were exploring too, so. But if we go to Oregon, or when we go to Oregon again, I would want to stay at Fort Stevens.
Yeah, it's a good park if you wanted to jump over into Washington and look at that.
Yeah, it's near the Columbia River. Just a beautiful area. She doesn't like it in there, Gary. I don't know why. She doesn't like it. Fort Stevens State Park is beautiful here. Oh my gosh, mountains and ocean. Lovely.
So another thing for us that we had on our bucket list to do was the Three Cape tour, which we did. And one of the roads that you would take to do the Three Cape tour is closed. I guess it was damaged, landslide, water, whatever. And for what we read is it's not planned on being reopened. So
No.
you kind of got to loop up and loop back and loop down, and so it's a little bit more
Yeah,
driving.
it was. I'm not sure how it would have been different, but you have to, when you leave Tillamook, and you go over to the coast, you go up to Cape Meares, and then it's like an in and out, and then you come out, then you rejoin the loop.
Right. Three Capes, what did you think?
I found that to be a really nice little gem of the Oregon coast, because so many of the other places that we visited, and we've been to Oregon, the Oregon coast twice now, are just packed with people, because it's right on 101. 101 runs right along the coast, and so everyone congregates to these areas. But in this area where we stayed at Camper's Cove is where 101 juts inland a little bit. So the Three Capes tour takes you back over to the coast on another road, but it's a little out of the way if you're just touring 101, which we were the first time we went, so we didn't even, I think we might have popped over there a little bit. But it seems to be a less trafficked area, although it was busy, but it was
Right.
July, so we found a really nice beach there that we'll talk about in a minute. But it was just a beautiful drive along the Pacific Ocean with the mountains and the woods and the trees everywhere. It was just gorgeous. Okay, Three Capes Scenic Drive. This is a sampling. Kind of wind through the mountains. You can see the coast now and then. It is so cool. And then up on the hillside,
We're in Oceanside.
Oceanside. It's like the mountains and ocean married. Oh, look at the dunes to your left. That's cool. That's really cool.
So yeah, I enjoyed the Three Capes. The one lighthouse we went to is very small. I think it's the smallest
It's
working
tiny.
lighthouse in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little matchbox lighthouse, but it serves a big purpose for the reefs and all the rocks and stuff off
Right.
the coast.
Right, and there at the Cape Meares Lighthouse, you can also view the octopus tree, which is this
Right.
Sitka spruce that it looks like an octopus. It's just
Yeah.
growed in that way. It's very popular, but just ask people around because it's not clear how to walk there. So we had to, ask for directions, but other people, everyone were asking for
It's
directions.
not a far walk. It's just like you walk up to it, but the trail that goes up to it is not well defined.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's a mile. It's just
No,
right up,
it's
just
right
up the
there, but
road,
you don't
yeah.
know right where right there is.
Yeah, it's got
So-
like 8 trunks growing out of the base, so it's pretty. Plus, there's a nice overlook too.
It's impressive.
And we took our dogs,
Hmm.
so the dogs walked and they were happy.
Right, and speaking of Sitka spruce, one of the finds we found along the Three Capes tour was a Sitka sedge natural area.
Yeah,
I'll put that up.
Sitka sedge preserve natural area.
Yeah, it was just a really nice walk in, first along the dike, and you could see Sand Lake out there, which is a tidal lake, so it was some water, some not water, sandy areas.
But then you walk and the beach is there, but during seasons I think you're not allowed to walk out there.
Right, they had the snowy plovers, which I guess is a type of bird, were nesting, so you couldn't actually walk to the beach, and dogs were not allowed on the beach, but we took them on the trail. But it goes up and down these ancient wooded dunes.
Right.
It was just a beautiful walk in the woods, and then along the dike as well.
Yeah, and it's a nice walk. Most of it is really like hard packed. Then once you get around it, you get into a little bit of the soft, beachy type
There's
sand.
a little
You
bit
got to
of
walk through.
sand walking, but dogs enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. So that was a nice little surprise that we didn't even expect. We just stopped to check it out. They have a bathroom there, and they have a dog water fountain, which came in handy. Our dogs really enjoyed that.
Now on the other side of that big lake was the giant where people take 4-wheelers.
Right. We're going to show you some of that. We drove through a couple of campgrounds, and they were quite packed on this weekend that we were there. I don't even know what day of the week it was.
No, but it was like the 4-wheeler expo meeting place, because they were just I think there was 2 campgrounds over there. They're primitive campgrounds, but there was every 4-wheeler that you could imagine.
They were packed in there
because it's
primitive
it's
camping.
like a big sand desert dune area out there, and they were just
tearing it up
out there with their 4-wheelers. Yep.
Yeah, having a good time. So
there were hundreds of them.
We'll show you a couple of those campsites as well. There's so many campsites to show all of them, but if we happen to drive through one, we'll give you a little drive through eyeball so you can see what it looks like.
But we went to Fort Stevens. We did the Capes, and we found the Sitka Sedge place, and we also looked at the 4-wheeler world. Right,
and the Three Capes tour is Cape Meares, Cape Lookout, and Cape Kiwanda. So you'll go by different little towns of Netards, Oceanside, Pacific City.
That's kind of where you end up, is Pacific City.
Yeah, that's the end of it, and then you jump back on 101, and for us, we just came back home to Camper's Cove.
All right, so you make it down. Pacific City's the last place that you might say we went to, and it's a really nice little beach town. Big bar and grill there, right on the beach. It's a really nice beach there. We saw sea lion. Yeah, sea lion. Really nice place to walk the dogs.
Girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the fishermen there fishing these dories, they charter them, and there's probably, I don't know, six people that go on these little, what they call dory fishing boats.
There are all these warnings about dory boats.
Right. And at one end of the beach is where they land these dories. They drive up full speed to the beach, and they actually land their boats right up on the beach at high speeds. And right before they get to the beach, they cut the motors, and
it's crazy. They
goes
just
right
come
up on the beach,
flying up there, and I'm like stressing because there's kids and people everywhere. But people manage to stay out of the way, and like I said, there are warnings there too.
Yeah, they say if you see boat trailers parked down there, beware of boats landing on the beach, because that's where they land.
Right.
And then they load them on their trailer. So that's kind of a interesting spectacle to watch.
We lucked out and caught that.
And I think that's where they have this giant sand dune that people climb up.
Yes, had a great time on the sand dune. It was, when I say giant sand dune, I don't know how high it was. It's massive. So
yeah, we're not talking just, we're talking way up there.
Yeah, it was fun. I went way up it, went around by the ocean on the other side, and went up even higher. Very cool. Very cool thing to do. A lot of people were doing it,
yes,
so it's doable.
A giant sand pile for kids. And adults too, apparently. You just walk up to the top of that and then come back down. And my other half there is going up there because she wants to walk out to there. So, I don't know if this is called it or not, but I dubbed this the world's tallest sand pile.
Okay, hiked up from that area over there, along here, along the fence line, and then up the sand hill. Still have a little ways to go.
Yeah. And they had an old ship there that was wrecked on the beach. You could walk in.
That was at Fort Stevens.
That's at Fort Stevens. Okay,
yeah.
Scratch that.
So Fort Stevens did have an old shipwreck.
Shipwreck on the beach.
So the beach we're talking about in Pacific City is Kiwanda, Cape Kiwanda, and I'll put the name of it, but it's state natural scenic area, something like that.
It's like a...
Yeah, and it has some really cool tide pools. Not as cool as we saw at Devil's Punch Bowl, but still kind of interesting. And just a really nice beach to go and hang out at.
So, we started at Fort Stevens, came all the way down to Pacific City, even down to Lincoln City where there's a beach.
right?
I don't remember the name of that beach, but there is
Yeah.
a little beach in Lincoln City.
There are a lot of beaches there,
Right.
but we were visiting family in the area, and we did a beach day.
Yeah.
Took the dogs and just hung out at the beach. It's really fun. Playing in the Pacific Ocean. It's cold, but it's not as cold as it was last time. Go get it. Is it over? So we could have gone further down. When we went to Oregon the first time, we kind of did a marathon. We started in Northern California and did Crescent City and the Redwoods down there in that area. And then we moved up to Lincoln City and did a lot of driving.
Yeah.
We were more localized this time, which gave us a little more opportunity to explore more in the areas instead of just going. So.
Taking Crater Lake out of the mix, because that's not seashore, Seaside. What's your favorite part of it? Or do you have one?
Well, the coast is just beautiful. But I would have to say at the Cape Kiwanda, there's the Haystack Rock, so you get, the big giant rock. There's another one in Cannon Beach, I think, like the Goonies Rock they call it. That's much further north. But I really like that beach. It wasn't super crowded. We could find a place to park. There were people there, don't get me wrong. But there were things to see. It was just an interesting beach. It wasn't just a plain beach. So I really enjoyed messing around with, the rocks when the water was coming in. And I
Right.
love climbing on the dune and the bluff that overlooks the area.
Yeah, a lot of these beaches you have to keep in mind the tide change.
Yeah.
You catch it low, medium tide, you get to see a lot more. So you liked Cape Kiwanda?
What'd you like?
Well, I did like Cape Kiwanda, and I like Devil's Punch Bowl. Fort Stevens to me intrigued me the most, although I didn't get to spend a lot of time there.
Well, I'd probably add that to my list of things to do next time.
Yeah,
Spend more time at Fort Stevens. Camp there.
I guess maybe like you, Cape Kiwanda.
Cape Kiwanda. Yeah. It was easy to get to from our base camp at Camper's Cove.
It wasn't overly crowded.
No.
There was people there, but it wasn't like you were, sidestepping people to walk down the beach. As you go down, farther you go down the beach, the less crowded it gets.
Beautiful drive to get there.
Right.
Mountains in the distance.
It was a 30-minute drive, we were back home.
Yeah, it was super easy. Scenic route to get there. That was a good area to explore. So I'd want more time there. We had kind of scheduled ourselves to move on. I guess we were there about 2 weeks total.
Yeah, we'll say so altogether.
I'd like a little bit more time to do, of course, a little bit more hiking. I found along that scenic drive a really neat trail through the woods, but anyway, we
For those
didn't
of
have
you who
time
like
to
to
do
hike.
it. Yeah. So I knew that wouldn't be on his
No,
top.
I walk, I
10.
don't hike.
Would yours be on fishing, maybe?
I would like to spend some time maybe shore fishing, trying it out. I got some surf rods I would like to try surf fishing to see what's going on there, if anything. But
So I would say a good month, and for me, a good month in Oregon. That way you could really do some more thorough exploring. But we definitely could see it in the 2 weeks we were there, and shoot, when we went there a few years ago, we were only there for a little over a week, so even shorter.
yeah, we covered the whole
But
coast
we
that
started
time.
in Northern California, so it was pretty amazing to see. It is,
and at Crater Lake.
yeah, it's a state that you need to see. It's very beautiful. It was never on my radar, so I'm thankful to family for telling me about it. Pictures are good. The temperature's great.
Might rain.
Yeah, it might be drizzly, but we're from Florida, so
Yeah.
we're kind of used to that. Also, check out our Camper's Cove rough road review on this channel.
Yeah, and we did quite a few in Oregon. We did Collier Memorial. We had
Collier, Crater Lake,
Beverly Beach.
and upcoming we're going to have the drive from Crater Lake to the coast.
Right.
Because we had to cross some mountains there in our 33-foot Class A motorhome, pulling our Toad. So we were a little nervous, but the way we went, it wasn't bad. There were some steep parts, but
yeah, we made it over just fine.
Yeah, and 101, that was our other big scare with the RV, but it was fine.
It was fine. We hope you enjoyed our little video here of our little tour of Oregon coast. And of course, we're going to keep the videos coming. So if you hit the like, subscribe, the bell, you know, the big 3, you keep updated. It's when we release these videos, because we have a lot to do between Oregon and back to Florida. So we'd like
a little bit more Oregon coming.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a lot more after that.
Right.
So stay tuned and enjoy this journey with us. We like having you along with us. Comment. We're glad if you put a comment down there. We'd like to talk back with you. Just enjoy.
Right. I'm Sharon.
Yeah, I'm Gary.
And we're Rough Road RV Life.
We like looking for freedom
every day.
See you on the road.
Safe travels. Bye. There she is. Hey, Tara. Good girl. I'm tangled up with dogs, so where to go? I know, just a minute. You see it now? Where's the sea lion? Right there. I'm gonna see it now.
Right there.
There it is. Aww. Yep. Right there. Straight ahead. Looks like a little dog out there. We're on 22, right? Heading to I-5, heading east, leaving the coast. Sad, sad, sad. But it's okay. Going on to other adventures. But I really did like that work.